friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Today we're going to talk about how we break our meals into courses without making extra work. I find that eating meals in courses helps all of us to slow down and give our full attention to the dinner meal, to be fully present, to enjoy chatting with each other, and also for the cooking not to be too hectic because it can be prepared or finished off a little bit at a time for the courses. So I'm going to talk about different ways that we do the courses. Sometimes it's relaxed with an activity, sometimes it's formal, and then how we break down the meals. So the first one is a fun, relaxed evening when we're tired and we want to do something like watch a movie. So last night we watched Jurassic World, The Rebirth, and we ended up having 4 courses, although that wasn't planned, but it worked really well. So we started the movie nice and early in the evening at about 5:30, and then we had some chopped sweet melon. That's the orange melon. So my oldest daughter chopped up the melon, and we all had a bowl full while we watched. My youngest 2 were watching something else, as it's a bit hectic for them. But we were all kind of in front of the movie. So we enjoyed that fruit, gave it time to digest. And then our vegetable for the meal was a homemade cauliflower soup, which I mentioned in the previous episode. So that's made with bone broth and cauliflower, salt, a bit of cheese and cream when it's blended up. It's very delicious. So we had a bowl of that at the table together and chatted a little bit. And then we went back to the movie. And in the meantime, we were warming up our cottage pie. So then after about another half an hour of movie time, we came back together at the table, got the cottage pie out the oven and dished that up, and then enjoyed another little chat, bit of a connection being together so that the whole evening is not just about the movie. And also it's eating slow and helping our bodies to digest. And we enjoyed that cottage pie. And then it was getting quite late by that time. The younger one goes to bed at 8. So we had some dessert and we finished that off also in front of the movie. That was chocolate mousse, pre-made chocolate mousse. So everybody had a bowl of that and she finished hers off and went up to bed. And then we ate slowly in front of the rest of the movie. So that was a really nice slow evening with some good chatting and connection and some good relaxing and watching a movie. And the 4 courses worked really well because it was spread out through the evening. Another way we like to do courses is a very formal setting, like an elegant evening. So sometimes on a Friday night, instead of pizza and a movie, we do Chinese food. Now, that may not sound very elegant, but it can be. So we'll set the table with our beautiful underplates, lovely crockery, nice glasses, elegant napkin folded, etc. And then we get Chinese takeout, but stuff that can be made into elegant food. So we'll get a corn soup, and I have little elegant soup bowls. We'll all have some Chinese soup with the Chinese soup spoons. The second course will be something like sushi or spring rolls on a little side plate. So between courses, we'll chat a bit. Maybe we'll have specific conversation from conversation starter cards or a particular topic that Dad picked, or we'll just relax and laugh and chat. Then our third course will be something like a stir-fried rice and chicken, stir-fried chicken or sweet and sour chicken. And it's really nice because we're not making anything. So nobody has to be in the kitchen for long. There are quite a few dishes which need to be cleared, but the takeout makes it really easy. And then for the last part of the meal, we'll have some kind of dessert. So again, 4 courses, we'll layer the plates on the table. We'll set out extra knives and forks. We'll put our chopsticks elegantly or the soup spoons. And then we'll also choose drinks and have lovely glasses for those next to our water glasses and just make an evening of it. Make it elegant, have some soft music playing in the background, perhaps Chinese music, and enjoy that. Then another type of courses meal will just be an everyday meal. So perhaps we are having something like lamb stew for our meal. Then perhaps I'll do something like steamed broccoli or corn on the cob as the appetizer course. So that's easy. You steam it in advance, you keep it in the pot and it stays warm. And then it's really simple, like some long stemmed, elegant broccoli that's nice with some salt, or the corn on the cob. So on the top plate, we'll have that. Then we'll clear that away, have a little conversation time, and then we'll have our lamb stew and then clear that away. And maybe we'll have some cheese and bread as our last course instead of a dessert. So we'll cut various types of cheese, put them on a little cheese board, some crackers or some sourdough with butter, or to be elegant, some olive oil with balsamic vinegar to dip in, perhaps some grapes, and that'll be our last course, which we'll have after the stew. So in that case, people take a bit less for their main course. They know there's another one coming, and it extends the meal so that nobody's rushing off and we just together a little bit longer. And it's nice to have finger food at the end. Plus, the cheese is good for the digestion. The grapes are nice little sweet pops of something, bit of fruit. So that's a fun way to do courses as well. Another great appetizer, if you want to make a meal into a few courses, is to have a salad, a small side salad or a salad that you put on top of the main plate on a smaller plate. And you make them individually so that each person has their own salad. You can do this before grilling chicken kebabs. We would do that sometimes, or before whatever main course you've planned that goes well with a salad. So put out your number of plates that you need in the kitchen. For us, that would be 7. Add a little chopped lettuce, some cucumber, tomato, maybe some pine nuts, feta, some avocado, some red pepper, anything that you like for your salad. And then everybody's got a pretty little plate of salad to start with. And then you can finish off your next course after that. So everybody has a bit to eat. They're not too desperately hungry while you finish cooking your main course or grilling your meat or whatever. Also, a great way to start a meal is a charcuterie board. It doesn't have to be as comprehensive as it would be if it was your whole meal. If it's just an appetizer, you can put a few different types of cheese, some crackers or sourdough, some fruit like grapes or chopped apple, etc., some nuts perhaps, just a few odd things that people can enjoy, maybe some dips or some cheese like camembert that's all melty that you can dip in, or a cream cheese ball, whatever you like, and you can vary it. Sometimes cold meats, salami, or any Italian meat works great. And then everybody has a small side plate and they help themselves while you have your appetizer course, and you sit around and enjoy that and then enjoy your main meal after that. Another great start to the meal is a soup, as I mentioned in the previous episode. So instead of having a vegetable with your main, or as well as a vegetable, like we would sometimes do grilled barbecue chicken with some ratatouille, but we would still start with a cauliflower soup. This helps fill people up. They eat a bit less meat, and it's good nutrition because it's got bone broth and vegetables in there. So we would make up a cauliflower soup or a butternut and sweet potato soup, and we make it a little earlier in the afternoon, and then everybody has some soup as their appetizer. And then we have a little break and we finish off the main part of the meal. And then we'll have a dessert. Sometimes my oldest son likes to make a creme brulee or a chocolate lava cake, something like that, or a panna cotta. So those are very elegant and can go nicely with an elegant meal. Somehow a soup does suggest an elegant meal if you start with it. So make the table beautiful, stack or layer your plates. You've got your main plate and then your side plate and your soup plate on top. And then you have all the relevant cutlery. You set up some lovely music like an Italian bistro or a French bistro. And you sit down to enjoy your meal. If the table is set beautifully and you know they're going to be courses, it's somehow easier for everybody to relax into the meal, to know that they're here to stay for a while, and then the conversation flows more freely. It's not like a quick sit down and jump up, and that was dinner, but it's a time together, time to be present and chat and connect with each other and find out about your days and to slow down and It's obviously so much better for our digestion as well to eat slowly. Sometimes for fun, when we're doing a formal meal, we'll have some sorbet, like lemon sorbet, mango sorbet, in between the appetizer and the main course to cleanse the palate, as they say, or as they would do in a fancy restaurant. So this adds to the fun, and it also definitely does cleanse your palate so that you can enjoy the taste of the next course. Another appetizer we sometimes do is a shrimp cocktail. I usually buy cooked shrimp, which is much easier than trying to cook them yourself to the right uh, degree without them getting tough. So we buy the cooked shrimp, we chop them up, add a little lettuce or cucumber and some shrimp sauce, which would be mayonnaise, a little bit of tomato sauce in there, some lemon juice and salt. Add that to your shrimp. You can do the same thing with crab sticks, chop them up and add them to the lettuce with a bit of that shrimp sauce. And that makes a very elegant appetizer as well. You can do that when you're going to have fish, like baked oven fish or salmon, anything that you like. And then you could do some kind of potato with your fish. You could do a baked potato. You could do half baked potato where the edges get nice and crispy. Crushed potato where you squish the potatoes with a potato peeler and add cheese and feta and a bit of oil and herbs. And there's lots of other potato dishes that you could do in there. So just think about what you normally eat and what you can enhance it with without making too much extra work. Break up the meal into the vegetables first, then the meat and starch, and then some kind of dessert, or even the sorbet just for the dessert, or a cheese platter. Something at the end makes it special and makes it slow, enjoyable, and a good time of connection. So I hope that you have an idea or two from this. Don't feel overwhelmed like, oh no, now I've got to cook another course, but rather look for ways to slow down and break up your meal to make it more interesting and fun without making a whole lot of extra work. And we have our Easy Elegant Appetizers cookbook for sale on familyfoodformoms.com. If you're interested in that, there's a PDF version and a print version. And that's got very easy 5-ingredient recipes that you can try for your appetizers if you need some ideas. So thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.